There comes a moment when staying in your job feels like disobedience to what God is calling you to. You're feeling the urge, you're feeling this push that it's time for you to move on. You know that it's time for you to move on, but for whatever reason, whether you are afraid, you are feel uncertain, you're not really sure what's to come, you're overthinking certain things, you're concerned, you're worried, but you know deep down in your heart, it's time for you to leave that job. Now, I want to say this. I'm not the big proponent of just leaving a job just for leaving a job's sake, right? Because there are a lot of times when people feel called, whether it's to go into full-time ministry or to pursue something else, that they don't strategically plan what they're going to do next. They just wake up one morning and then just, you know what, I'm done. Now, nobody really ever gets to that point just like that. You normally go through a process, right? You're thinking, strategy, and then you're able to kind of see, where you are in terms of making that step. So if you're feeling like it's time for you to move on from your job, what's going to happen is that if God has placed something inside of you, and I know that God has something incredible placed inside of you, and you're feeling that tug, you're fighting it, you're going to get to a place where it becomes increasingly difficult for you to do that job. Now, I say this to you, before you leave the job, before you transition to something else, have a strategic plan. First of all, when you confirm that's what God wants you to do, and you know that, okay, you want to make, or whether you want to make a career change, whatever, right? Be strategic about the steps that you take, especially if you have family that depends on you. If you have kids or anyone that's dependent on your income, don't just abruptly just leave because you felt like it. That is not wisdom. Now, there are times when they may, say you're fired or they'll let you go. That's different. But if you're feeling that tug, and I've spoken with, several people, so many been in this industry, they've been feeling that tug for a while. Stay on the job until you can't stay anymore. What does that mean? Stay on there and plan a strategy on your next steps. Get wisdom, do your research, see what's out there, see what's going on. Don't just wake up and say, you know what, I'm done. I don't care. I got to do this ministry stuff. That is not smart, because there's so many people that have just abruptly just left jobs because they couldn't stand the job anymore for whatever reason. And now they're struggling, and that is not God's will for you. So yes, while you may have the calling on your life to do something, seek the Lord. Here's something interesting. Matthew 4:19, Jesus called and they left everything to follow him. When Jesus called his disciples, they didn't say, oh man, let me just give a 2-week notice, right? And I'm not saying you just leave off. Sometimes that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. But that's not the wise thing to do. When Jesus called them, fisherman, Peter, I'm out. Dropped everything. So what is that thing that God has placed in your heart that you know is God? What is that passion? What is that gift that God has deposited in you? It is burning. It is burning. You can't stop thinking about it. You can't stop feeling that urge, like, that push. It seems like every day you're getting pushed away from that job. You're going there. Maybe you're getting great pay from that job, and you have security in there. But one thing that I've learned in life and in business, there is nothing that's 100% safe except the Lord. Nothing is 100% safe and secure, especially today. With the AI revolution that's happening, and though maybe you're not into tech a lot and your job is going in that direction, what are you going to do? Because eventually the hard truth is, if you're not into tech in one way or another, even if you're not deep diving in there, all these jobs, they are scaling and they are replacing people with technology. Not everybody's getting replaced. The ones that are not getting replaced, right, are the ones that can never be replaced, or the ones that you have the skill set. So even if they let you go, they can never fire your skill set. You can take that and start your own business. You can move on and lift your head up. You know what? It's better anyway. God has something great for you. But it's time for you to move on from that job. It's time for you to pursue what God has deposited in you. And sometimes it may not be going into full-time ministry. Maybe it's another career path. But it's time, and you've been ignoring it, and God is saying now, do it now. But again, this word is not for everybody. It's not for those that ignore wisdom and counsel, but it's for those that feel the urge, the need, the push. You get counsel, you pray about it, but at the end of the day, only you can make that decision. If you get any value out of this, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this, and turn your notifications on too, so when new videos come out, you're the first one to get access to it. And listen, I want to invite you to go to a brand new platform that I created called Pralum. Pralum is a Christian business platform where entrepreneurs like yourself can connect and network and build quality relationships. You can find prayer partners. You can get quality Christian coaching, regardless of the season of your life. So go to Pralum.com and sign up today.